Hello everybody, my name is EonShiKeno, and today I'm going to cover a Terran strategy. I'm going to go through it very simple, very simple strategy. I'm going to go through the build order, talk about timings, what type of unit composition you want to have, and basic simple stuff. Now this is a very easy strategy to execute. It's based around a one base play. It involves Marines, Thors, and SCVs attacking. And this is a strategy you want to use in a Terran versus Protoss situation. As you can see here, I'm playing. Got my Protoss opponent over here across the map on Delta Quadrant. So the first thing you want to do here is constantly make SCVs out of your command center here, rally them to your mineral patch, and make a supply depot at 10 food. Now, building placement is very important in this matchup and with this build. You want to build your buildings as kind of a wall around your mineral line, so that way if you do get four-gated from the Protoss player, you have a defensive stance back in your base. So then I'm going to keep making SCVs, and at 12 food I'm going to make a barracks with this one SCV. And I'm going to make one more SCV, get up to 13 supply up here in the top right. You can see 13 supply, and then I'm going to make a reactor, or actually, sorry, not a reactor, there we go, refinery. Refinery's going up. And then I'm going to send my scout SCV out right around 14 supply, and I'm just going to basically scout look for my opponent, because of course you need to know where your opponent is when you're going to attack him. So then I'm going to get up to 15 food. There's 15 food. And my barracks should finish about the same time this SCV finishes, and then I'm going to make an orbital command. And as soon as this refinery finishes, quickly put 3 SCVs on gas. And then as soon as this barracks finishes, you're going to upgrade this to an orbital command, and then you're going to start producing Marines. And as soon as you make this orbital command, you're going to make another supply depot, because you do not want to get supply blocked ever. But in this specific situation, whenever you're going for a timing attack, you don't want to get supply blocked, because you want to have as many units as possible whenever you're ready to attack. So I'm going to get one Marine out, and I'm going to start to kill this probe, because I don't want this probe to see what I'm going to go for. So after the supply depot finishes, the next thing you're going to want to build is a factory, and preferably you want to kill this SC. You want to kill any of the probes scouting your base. You want to get them out of your base before you build the factory, because when at all possible, you don't want to show your opponents what your build is. So let me pause this for a second. So back to reiterate, keep producing Marines out of your barracks, and as soon as you get 100 gas, and as soon as the probe has left your base, you want to build a factory, also in a defensive location. You can see here. Probably wouldn't have heard if I would have put it over here. But and then after you build your factory, you want to build another refinery, because gas is very important, because Thors cost a lot of gas, 200, and continue to produce SCVs. So let's get back here going. Now I like to get about 3 or 4 Marines out, and then after you get 3 or 4 Marines out, I like to get the reactor upgrade on your barracks so you can produce more Marines. And of course, make another supply depot. Thors cost 6 food, so you want to keep a little bit ahead of your supply by making supply depots ahead of time. So I'm going to keep producing SCVs here, keep producing Marines, and then as soon as this factory is finished, you want to be able to build an armory, because you need your armory tech before you can make a Thor. So of course up here in the front, I did scout out my opponent, and I'm going to build a bunker. As soon as you get about 3 or 4 Marines out, I like to build that bunker up there. And then of course I'm going to build my armory here, and then I'm going to throw down my reactor on my barracks, and then my tech lab on my factory, and then keep producing SCVs. I should be producing SCVs here, but I'm not. And also, throw down these mules. You want to be using mules 24/7, because you're going to need all those minerals at all possible. And of course, as you can see here, I'm building an extra supply depot. I'm 10 food over supply, or it's actually 10 supply over what I need. But you want to build these supply depots ahead of time, because Thors cost 6 food, plus you'll be double producing Marines, which is 2 food. So you'll be going through food quite fast. And you will have enough minerals to actually be able to do this. So right whenever this armory finishes, you should be able to build a Thor, and this reactor will finish, you'll be able to build 2 Marines. So we have the Thor finishing, or the Thor starting right here at the factory. You need to have this tech lab add on to your factory, and you're going to make 2 Marines out of this barracks, because with the reactor, that's going to allow you to make 2 Marines. I'm putting an SCV here, my scout SCV, at the Zelnaga Tower, just to see if there's a rush coming. Later on in this tutorial, I'll show you how to defend against a really early 4-gate attack, which comes at about 6:30 or 6:40 timing attack. So just knowing in advance is really helpful. That allow you to get your SCVs and come up to your bunker and repair it. So basically, keep producing SCVs, keep producing Marines, and then produce Thor. I like to attack when I have 2 Thors. Now, another thing that happens in this game, let me pause this for a second. If your opponent does go Robo in their build, I think this guy went for a 2-gate Robo expand. If your opponent does go for a Robo and you actually scout the Robo, be prepared to see an Observer. Just look around on it for the map. Most people just take the Observer, run it straight into your base. So somewhere in this area, I was predicting an Observer to come. And if you can, you want to snipe that Observer before it gets in your base and sees your Thors, because as soon as they see your Thors, that'll give them more information to be able to counter you. So this is just something to look out for. As soon as you master the build, it's just one little thing you can do to help yourself. And at this timing into the game, 1 mule isn't really going to hurt you that much, because you already have quite a few Marines out at this point. So anyway, let's get back to the game. And I'm going to get my Thor out, and I'm trying to hide it because I don't want this Observer to see it, and I don't think he's seen it yet. He's probably going to see it, but I should be hiding my Thor like down here somewhere. But anyways, I'm starting my second Thor. I'm producing more and more Marines and building another supply depot. You can see I've got this wall off going. Pretty good wall off. And my opponent did see this armory, so he probably is expecting Thors. He's making an immortal. He does have an expansion up, or is on the way of getting up. So just keep producing Marines, keep producing Thors. Now, one more thing about the strategy is you have an option of getting these strike cannons. Now, if you know your opponent is going Immortals and they have like, 2 or 3 Immortals, the strike cannon upgrade is great because it allows you just to basically get the strike cannon upgrade and then use the strike cannon on Immortals and basically kill Immortals with the strike cannon. It's really good, and it does a really good job of countering those Immortals. But I choose to not get it in the first rush. It's something I like to get in maybe the second rush if I see he's going a lot of Immortals. It's just a lot of money, and I don't think it's that useful early. But anyways, back to what we need to be focusing on. You just want to keep making supply depots, keep producing Marines, keep making SCVs. Now, whenever we go out and attack, you're going to bring some SCVs along to repair. I would like to bring like 8 to 10 SCVs and split them up. Put like half on one Thor and half on the other Thor. Just basically select them and then right click on your Thor. So I've got my second Thor out. I'm unloading my barracks. Going to sell that barracks probably. And we're going to push out. So let me pause this for a second, talk about like control groups. I like to have my Marines and Thors on one control group, and I've got my SCVs on my second control group. Because usually, whenever you get in a fight, your opponent is going to focus fire and probably try and kill an Immortal. And in that situation, you just want to use the hotkey that your SCVs are on. Just click that. Mine is on 2. So I'll hit this, and then I'll just basically right-click on the Thor so that way they'll all focus and repair. But until that happens, I just like to have maybe half of them with auto repair on. Just right-click on a Thor, and the other half auto repair already turned on, and then just right-click on this Thor. So that way, until I notice the focus fire, they're going to be spread out and repairing different Thors. So let's see how this fight's going to go. And keep producing SCVs, keep producing Marines, which I'm forgetting to do here for the time being. But okay, there I go, back in it. And keep producing Thors, keep producing SCVs, there I go. So I'm using this one SCV, sending it ahead, my scout SCV, just to see what type of army composition he has, to see what I'm going to be working with. And I pull it back, and do I manage to save it? Oh, no, he doesn't get out of there alive. But anyway, the push is coming. Now, let me pause and show you what I was doing there for a second. So you saw me grab these Marines and pull them back. Now, the position you want to have your army in is you want to have your Thors in front, tanking all the damage, because the Thors will be able to be repaired by the SCVs, and they can deal a lot of damage. Marines are very weak, but have a very high DPS, so you want to have them towards the back of your army. So you'll see me keep constantly pulling these Marines back a little bit. So anyways, there you go, pulling some more back, trying to get the Thors up front, and basically just aim move in here. Now let's slow this down for a second. And now we're pushing up. Now, you'll see here I grab these Marines, and I come up here and I'm attacking this Immortal. Now, why am I grabbing the Marines and attacking Immortal? Well, Immortal has this thing called the Hardened Shield, which reduces the income damage to 10. So since my Marines only do 6 damage, the shields are basically, this Hardened Shield is not going to do anything for the Marines. They're going to be doing full damage no matter what. But if I focus it with a Thor does 30 damage. So up until the shields are removed, the Thor is only going to be doing 10 damage to this Immortal. So you don't want the Thors to focus Immortals at the beginning. You want the shields to be gone before you start focusing the Immortals. And until then, basically just have your 2 Thors on attack move and have all your SCVs repairing. Like you can see here, I saw the focus fire going down on this Thor, and I just hit 2, right click on that Thor, and just have all those SCVs repair that one singular Thor. So let me keep this going. And you can see Immortals are actually Thors just tear through Zealots there in the front line. Now you can see here, as soon as those shields were off of that Immortal, I just grabbed this Thor, focus it, and it's going to kill Immortals very quickly. When it only has 200 life, Thors do 30 damage with 2 attacks, so they can cut these in very quickly. And Marines up here just killing, focus fire, killing a sentry. Sentries are another really good unit that you want to kill because Guardian Shield really greatly reduces the damage of Marines. So you can see here I got my Marines in the front. Ideally, you want to pull those back. Let your Thor tank because you can repair Thor, you can't repair the Marines. And now I've lost quite a bit of my army and I've got these Marines out. I still have some Marines left over and I've got some SCVs, so I'm going to lay down a bunker because I want to try and take out this Nexus. Now if he didn't have this Nexus and I was in his base, I probably still would have made a bunker. You can see I'm going to push up here and make another bunker, but he's going to stop that. But from this point on, you want to decide, okay, how well did the fight go? Do I want to reinforce or do I want to fall back and build up another army? In this situation, I'm just basically going to keep reinforcing and get another Thor coming. I got some more Marines. I got another Thor just popped out. And I know I'm doing pretty well, and he's actually going to kill it there. But I've got these 4 Marines in here. I'm going to be able to take out this Nexus. And this was a really successful rush. He hasn't been able to do anything with this Nexus yet. So this Immortal doesn't have any shield, and I've got some more reinforcements coming. This Thor is on the way. I've got some more Marines coming. And you can see here this push is going to work out pretty well. So let me just speed it up here a little bit. And you can see here comes another push he's got. Marines doing a lot of damage, and this Thor just wrecks sentries. It wrecks everything. The Thor is a great unit with this push. And you can see here, this is a really micro-oriented fight because it really centers around you controlling your Marines, pulling them back, focus firing Immortals or sentries, killing them off very quickly, and using your SCVs to repair your Thors whenever they do get focus fired, because they will focus fire your Thors most of the time. And a hotkey is very important to have for these SCVs here. So that was the basic opening and like follow through of a Thor Marine SCV one base play. Now I'm going to show you jump into another replay right now that shows what happens whenever someone 4-gates you as opposed to doing a 2-gate robo expand. So the strat the Protoss player did against me this game was very safe and very defensive. He was really playing defensive, so there wasn't much pressure on me. The bunker I had at the front of my ramp wasn't needed, but it's something definitely I recommend as you'll see in this next game. So let me just jump into that right now. Okay, everybody, so this is the 4-gate attack that I'm going to show you how to deal with. Now, as we can see back in my base, everything is pretty much similar. Got my Thor coming out, got my reactor with my barracks, armory's finished, got a lot of SCVs, 2 gas running, and you can see here, my opponent went for a very aggressive 4-gate, 3-gate here, and 1 gate at the front. Went for a 4-gate, 1 gas attack, so which is very fast, very aggressive, and he went with some Zealots up front and Stalkers behind it. So really good positioning of his army. Got my bunker up front, and SCV here waiting to repair. And let's just see how this plays out. So basically, I see him coming up here, and I see him focus firing it. I know he's going to kill that, so I'm just going to fall back and keep these Marines alive because I know my Thor is coming out. So your Thor should be out literally like seconds within the timing of this 4-gate, and that's what makes this build really strong, is because if they 4-gate you, your Thor will come out, and you should still be able to hold this off. So basically, just pull the Marines out of there because keeping the Marines alive is very important. You don't want to lose the 4 Marines you have to begin with, and I only lost like 1 or 2 here that were being rallied. But anyway, let's just see how this goes. So I got my Thor out, building the second Thor. I should be producing Marines right now, but I'm a little too busy. But anyway, he's just going to pressure me. I pulled down some SCVs and pulling down 4 SCVs to repair my Thor. I already have them clicked on there, and I'm pushing out. He's going to start focus firing my armory. Not going to accomplish much. And here's where I make a mistake. I pull my Marines away at front. They shouldn't be there. I pulled down SCVs because I'm scared. And basically, that Thor just does so much damage. He already has 2 kills. It's just going to wreck these Stalkers if those Stalkers get close enough. So I'll speed this up a little bit. Just bring the Thor out. Let it tank some damage because Thors can take a lot of punishment from Stalkers. And you can see that one Thor there with like 5 or 6 SCVs repairing it can crush 5 or 6 Stalkers pressuring it. And at this point, I've got 2 Thors. Let me check the unit combination. I've got 6 Marines, 2 Thors, and he only has 5 Stalkers. So at this point, I can basically just attack and win the game. I brought down some SCVs to repair with. I can make bunkers and all that good stuff. I can even start another Thor right now, producing Marines. And he's kind of stuck with this tech, which is just Sentry, Stalker, Zealot. So basically, you can just push out at this point, kill any proxy pylons before you continue the push, because you don't want him to warp in stuff behind you and start harassing you while you're pressuring his base. But I just wanted to show you how to deal with the 4-gate. Now, in that situation, if I would have seen the 4-gate coming a little sooner, instead of getting the guys out of my bunker and leaving it, I would have just brought SCVs down to repair, brought 5 or 6 SCVs, repaired that bunker, and then held it. But in that situation, I knew I couldn't get SCVs in there in time to repair it, so I just saved the Marines, because the Marines are what's really important. Losing a bunker isn't important, because as soon as you get the Marines and Thor out, you're just going to push and probably win anyway. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I tried to keep it pretty basic for everybody out there to follow. This is pretty much a build anybody can use. Just if you nail the timings, just don't get supply blocked, get all your buildings up on the right time, produce your units, and then basically just with a little bit of control, keep your Marines in back, SCVs repairing. It's a pretty strong strategy, and I think you guys will have a lot of success with it. So if you have any questions, leave those in the comments. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more tutorials coming up in the future.